Hey, good morning and welcome to Soul Soup. I'm Dr. Janette Freeman, and I'm here this morning to dish up a little bit of food for your soul, warmth for your heart, a little short message, and a process. And specifically, we're here at the end of a year. This is being aired on December 30th, 2018. And the end of the year is a perfect time to clear away things that are in the way and that are arising in order to move into the new year with some freedom at a new level of consciousness. So at the end of the year, it is very likely that you have had some stuff arising. Perhaps it's the holidays and it brought up the opportunity to dish up some stuff like family issues, money issues, relationship issues. So I am directing this show today to really processing and healing some of the stuff that's been coming up to help us all be set free. I believe that this is really good news. It's a good time for some clearing. We're living in powerful times. Perhaps you've noticed the energy of transformation and ascension and growth is pretty much off the charts. And it requires a willingness to grow and a willingness to take responsibility for what's coming up in order to heal old paradigms, heal old family issues, heal past hurts, take responsibility for ourselves in a deep way, release codependency, and learn to come into our own line, learn to come into our own source, our own I am presence. So at the end of the year, if things have been coming up for you, this is the time to clear it. And I'm going to make the assumption and direct this show to the assumption that things have been coming up. Everyone I know, people, everyone I talk to, things have been happening. So this is a wonderful opportunity because ultimately what I believe is happening is we're here waking up and manifesting greater heaven on earth. But in order to do that, we have to process more and more quickly, if it's there, in order to come back into higher vibration, in order to come back into higher frequency, to have to come in to our own I am nature. As I say in the teaching, to come back into our own line. And one of the things that I think that all of us have the opportunity to heal right now is codependency. How we project our shit on other people and how we allow other people to project it onto us. So I want to directly work with that issue today. Have you ever been slimed? You know, that's when someone projects all over you and makes all their problems all about you. And maybe even though you saw at first that this was their issue, it still got all over you. It's hard to get it out. It still gets in us. And the thing is when it gets in us, in other words, when we get upset, it's now become ours. So I invite you to look at that today because we want to clear some of that. The fact is when we're in pain, when we're triggered, it's because we have had something triggered. So even though it may appear someone's sliming us or someone's projecting all over us, we don't have to take it in. And one of the spiritual practices is to continue to know that we are not responsible for everybody's journey, to love people enough to return them to their own line, return them to their own journey. let go of our attachment, let go of our need for everybody to be okay, and to allow people in their own journey and learn not to take on their stuff, but also to be responsible for clearing our stuff when it comes up. So we're not the one now sliming and projecting our stuff over someone else. We can see in relationship issues, this is a lot of times what happens when we're unconscious. One person's issues are triggered and they slime on the other person. The other person's ego gets way involved and starts sliming it back on the other person. This ego struggle goes back and forth. So I'm talking to you as I'm talking to me, to say, if no matter what has happened, if I'm feeling it, I got to heal it. If I feel it, I heal it, right? So let's look at this. Let's take this example. So somebody slimes you, right? You see, oh, it's all their issue. They're having a thing. They're sliming it all over you. But if your mind is running through it over and over and over again, you can know that your ego's got involved trying to defend yourself. Maybe you overcompensate to make sure they feel good again. Maybe you do. Maybe you walk on eggshells because you don't want it to happen again. You want them to feel good. Maybe you even avoid them, because God forbid you should trigger them again and get ripped to shreds. You know how much that hurts, right? You don't want that to happen, right? It's easy to see. It's them. But actually, now, because your ego is overreacting and you're overcompensating and you're trying to make them feel better, or you're trying to stay away from them or isolate from them, now it has become yours because you feel it. You're the one that's hurting now. They usually feel a lot better because they've dumped it all over you. They're healed. Now it's all on you. It's all over you. It's in you. And actually, it's now yours because your old stuff's been triggered. You're right there, smack dab on the first and second floor. So the bigger question is, what do you do now? Rather than projecting it back to them, I invite you to breathe, to take a pause, to process what is yours so that you can come back into peace. That you can, when you talk, you can use healthy communication so that you can take all the attention off of the other and bring it right back here. Because you are the one that's having a mind right now, the ego mind that's overactive. So if any part of this scenario rings any kind of bell for you, this is just for me. This has been my journey lately. I've experienced this. I've experienced this many, many times, but I've experienced this. Sometimes I can see that this is a projection, but now I take it on and it hurts. And then I want to avoid and I want to run away. Don't want to be around them because I'm sure I'm going to step on somebody's toe. I'm going to trigger them. And I'm reminded again and again. Because, hey, codependency is a big deal. To keep trusting and allowing everyone to have their own path. To keep returning energetically, it's like I'm jumping over in their line now. I want to make sure that they are healed and better so they don't dump it on me. Or I want to come back. I want to run away. So when this happens, let's give you 3 steps. First of all, it's like take our attention off from everyone else and bring it into our own line. The first course of action always is to pause and to take a breath and to come home. to deal with it inside. And maybe you need a sounding board, maybe you need a journal, maybe you need someone to really express this, what's really happening, because that's helpful. But rather than hurting somebody else, write it down. Talk to someone that's a counselor or a therapist or a good friend that won't take it on, that it's not personal, so that you can process it and so that you can feel it. So that's an important part of it. So pause, take responsibility, bring it back inside, and take the responsibility off the other. So we're going to do a process to help heal and to release any part of this that rings true for you, any part of it, to be able to, first of all, come back into our own breath, to our own pause, to our own responsibility. We want to feel whatever is there, see it and feel whatever's there. And then we want to actually return everybody's energy back to their own line. So we'll do that in the process. We want to take everybody's stuff, that anybody that bothers you, anybody, return them to their own higher self. And then we want to return ourself to our home, to our I am presence, to our own line. So I talk a lot about being in your line. So you have a line connecting you to your own higher self, and everybody else does too. So we want to return them to their line and return us to our line, to return to our source of personal empowerment and our source of unconditional love and our source of innocence, as we return other people to their innocence and to their source of unconditional love and personal empowerment, so that we can be set free to move into the new year without all this other stuff. So are you ready to get into this process? All right. So take a breath. And just bring all of your awareness right to yourself. And invite any part of any past pain that has been triggered lately at all to allow yourself to feel it in your body someplace. If any person or persons come to mind that may have appeared to be the trigger, the source of this pain, bring them into mind and allow the pain to grow. That's right. Allow it to grow. Allow yourself to feel it. Where do you feel it? Where in your body do you feel it? Is there something that you really want to say? It's okay, think it right now. Just feel that process. Feel where you feel it in your body. Say what you want to say. Maybe it's like, leave me alone, get out of here, take your shit off me, it's not mine. Maybe it's something else. What does that pain want to say? And as you just feel that, get a sense if you're ready to let this go. Inviting at the level of your own higher self to access any energetic frequency of pain that is tied to this pain. Inviting at the level of the higher self to access anything in your past that this has triggered, any part that it is related to, any person, place, thing, experience, asking for healing from the higher self, asking for assistance from your own divine guides, angels, beings of support, asking for support in clearing anything from your past that is related to this. Maybe even saying to anybody that comes to mind, I'm not here to take on your pain. I'm not going to try and fix you either. I trust the divine in you to help you as I trust the divine in me to help me. That's right. And so just feeling that in your body now and asking the higher self to begin to unravel and to release everyone to their own line. And perhaps imagining, if you can feel where it is that you have felt this, maybe you want to unravel that and just return to sender any part of the energy that is not yours, that you took on. Just unravel, just return to sender any energy that is not yours. And I like to just imagine that I pull it, any part that I've taken on that someone else's, to just kind of pull it out of my heart and I give it back to them and allow them to hook into their own higher self. Just trusting the higher self to energetically help release all unhealthy attachments, all unhealthy demands, to return each one to their own higher self and to their own I am presence. That's right. So just inviting and continuing to invite at the level of the higher self. I ask the higher self of me to return all energies back to sender, back to where it came from. And I ask the higher self of all people involved to work with them at the level of their own higher self for healing and for a blessing. And begin to just imagine, using your beautiful imagination, to imagine each one, anyone in your life, just imagining them connected to their own higher self. Their river of light right up and down inside of them, connecting them to their own higher self, seeing them be fed by their own higher self. As you return to your own line, connecting right at your breath, imagining that vertical river of light coming from above your head, moving right down through your spine, right down into the earth, bringing all of your awareness into this beautiful line where you connect to your own essence, your own divine love, your own source of love and well-being, your own source of unconditional love, your own source of empowerment, your own source. And really affirming that you are not here to heal other people. You are not here to fix other people. You are not here to take on other people's stuff. That you are here to model the energy of right energy and of healthy energy, connecting to your own higher self, connecting to feeling and experiencing the love of your own divine presence. Taking responsibility to continually return to your line, taking responsibility to continually be fed by the higher self, by your own line, by your own divine lover, your own divine source of love, divine source of money, divine source of peace, of presence. Feeling this line within you now. Feeling the ground underneath your feet anchored, grounded here. With every breath, breathing up and down right into the center of you, feeling all of your own awareness right in the center of you now. I am being fed and fueled by my own higher self. I am connected to divine love. I am connected to divine source. I release and I allow everyone to have their own beautiful experience. I let go of all of my expectations and demands on others and allow them to have their own experience. I imagine and see everyone in my life attached to their own higher self in vertical alignment with their own higher self. I imagine and see all around me everyone connected to their own higher self. I return every bit of energy that is not mine to the person whose it is and let them have their own higher self. And I come into my own line because now I can offer unconditional love. Because I'm anchored to my own source of unconditional love. I let go of all my demands that comes from someone else. And I align with my own center, my own self, my own source. And can you imagine a world where everyone was really connected to their own higher self and had new skills of not sliming everyone else, of taking responsibility to return into the line, of communicating clearly their own experience without projection? Can you imagine a world with people vertically connected to their own higher self? So practice that in your own life, family, relationships, work. Seeing each person connected to their own line, to their own process, releasing and letting go of attachments and demands on it going our way, allowing everyone to have their own experience, knowing that the divine presence is awake and aware and alive in each one. That's right. Just feeling that vertical awareness. I am that I am. I am the love of God. I am the peace of God. I am the presence of God. I am the oneness with God. I am the life. I am that I am. That's right. And how wonderful it feels to be clean, energetically clean, knowing that as we move into this new year, that we move into this new year with personal empowerment, because we are connected to our own higher self, our own source of peace and power and unconditional love. That we move forward in that empowerment, in that peace, in that love now. That we claim and know that this is a wonderful new year of expression, expansion, amazing things. So take that moment to really affirm for you what you want to experience in your new year. That's right. Just breathe that in. I am that. I am that love. I am that peace and power. I am that I am. I am. I am. That's right. As you just coming right back to your body, into gratitude, having released and let go and set everyone free and yourself free. How wonderful it is. That's right. So thank you for joining Soul Soup this morning. So grateful that you could be here with us and to contribute to this expansion and to this energy of release as you move into the new year. So thank you so much. We appreciate the donations and support to the Oneness Center Online that produces this Soul Soup programming. And if it were not for those donations, it wouldn't be here. So thank you so much. I believe that there is a donation link in the chat box. So please check that out, or you can go to my newsletter if you receive that, or to the website onenessonline.org. So thank you so much for being here. And if this is your first introduction to I Am teachings at all, go to my website at www.JanetteFreeman.com. And there's information right on the front page and in the products page about the I Am course. Thank you so much for being here. I'd love to hear from you. Love a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done that already. And again, thank you so much. And spread the good. And have a very wonderful, happy new year. Cheers.